2-0 sweep and 11-3 run. And yes, we're talking about free picks. These video freebies remain red hot after the 2-0 yesterday. It is Friday, April the 17th. I'm Scott Rickenbach from Doc Sports, and I've got a free pick for you here on the matchup in the NBA play-in games. This one is between Charlotte and Orlando, and Charlotte is a 3.5-point road favorite. This total, we'll call it a 218. It's right in that 218 range. And again, Charlotte favored by 3.5 on the road at Orlando in this one. We're going to get into a freebie in just one moment. Before I do, first thing I want to say is thanks to all of you guys for very positive feedback yesterday about the videos. I appreciate it. Again, we're catching, it's normal to catch some flack in this business. I've been doing this for over 2 decades. You got to have thick skin, and trust me, I have thick skin. I've heard it all. And but the one thing I just want to remind you guys before I get into this freebie is that not only are these free picks 135 and 106 long-term, 40 and 24 short-term, including 11-3, my last 14, and many sweeps here recently. Not only that, but I just want to address that one issue again and mention, since I joined Docs in August of 2025, so it hasn't even been a full year yet, the big 3 sports, that means basketball, football, and baseball, those are the big 3, of course, in this industry. My 7-unit tops, which are those are the most important plays, those 7 units and higher, 65 and 52 plus 5,330. So there it is, and it's in black and white, guys. And like I said, I always say it like it is. So let's keep this free pick run going as well. And before I leave that subject, though, the hockey on the season, I'm up over 2,500 for the season and 100% ready for NHL playoff action, which gets going tomorrow on Saturday. As for Friday, we're talking NBA play-in action. Let's get into this Charlotte-Orlando matchup. So the first thing I want to mention, what a game, that Charlotte OT win over the Heat. And in that game, the one thing I want to mention is, it was a high-scoring game, but of course, what added to those point totals was the overtime period. And one of the keys for me in looking at this matchup is that Charlotte scored 26 points or less in 3 of the 4 quarters in that game. And so you start looking at this Orlando team that everybody knows they've had issues. They lost to Philly, of course, in the play-in. Philly without Embiid. I did have my top game, a 6-unit play on the Sixers in that game, a nice solid winner there. But about that game for the Magic, the one thing you notice is they were held to 24 points or less in 3 of the 4 quarters. They had one quarter where they did much better, but the rest of the game, they averaged 22 points per quarter in the other 3 quarters of that game. And of course, this is a win or go home game. This is it. Charlotte doesn't get any second chances now after barely surviving against the Heat. And as for the Magic, same thing. There's no other chances now. They blew it at Philly, and now they have to come up in this game. So the point is, defensive intensity is going to be high. And the other thing is, in 3 of the 4 quarters, these teams in their first play-in game did not perform well or all that well offensively, pretty mediocre to even subpar. So when you factor that in, I think we're going to see a low-scoring game in this one. And there's enough, I'm going to call this, at the time of this recording, there's enough 218.5 out there. And these lines move a lot, guys, but there are big books that have this game at 218.5. That's what we're going to call it. I'm going under 218.5 in the game between Charlotte and Orlando today. I look for a low-scoring battle. Again, that's under 218.5 between Charlotte and Orlando in NBA playoff play-in action here on Friday. And don't forget, the NBA playoffs start on Saturday, tomorrow, the real playoffs. And of course, the NHL playoffs get underway tomorrow on Saturday. I love this time of year. And guys, I have been on fire, a massive April in the NBA, and going back beyond April, it's been an incredible run in the hockey, up huge now, and has been a massive run in hockey as well. So both those playoffs, make sure you check out my premium picks, the Scott Rickenbach page at Doc Sports. Get on board for playoff action in both those sports where I've been on fire. Again, my premium picks are available at my Scott Rickenbach page at Doc Sports. And again, don't forget that this is not my only video. Plus, we have a group of fine handicappers here putting out free content for you on a daily basis. You don't want to miss any of it. So subscribe to the Doc Sports YouTube channel. Consider turning on notifications. You will get notified as we post this free content for you on a daily basis. I'm Scott Rickenbach from Doc Sports. Again, reminding you that the free pick here is under 218.5 between Charlotte and Orlando. Let's get a big winner there. Best of luck here today on Friday and always. And again, don't miss my other video free pick. Don't miss my Twitter free picks. And also don't miss my premium picks. Scott Rickenbach, Doc Sports. Best of luck.